Hello everyone and welcome back to Medieval Engineers. We are back and coming full circle with our YouTube channel a little bit. We are at over 6,000 subscribers, but this is the game that started it all. Medieval Engineers is the first series I ever worked on. This game is one of my favorites back in the day. Since then, many updates have come out that I think has kind of ruined the spirit of the game and has basically made this thing overly difficult to build in. And let's hope this episode fixes some of my worries and concerns. I want this game to work. I want this game to succeed because it has some great ideas and potential for things that I think we need in a crafting survival game. So let's go ahead and pretty much get started here. We're going to go into a custom planet, which is basically the default planet here. We're going to also play in survival mode because all of these things have mainly been geared towards survival. We're going to make the day duration pretty much max, mainly for my sanity, though we could also make it really short in hopes that we can get some lighting effects here. Nah, we'll make it max. Okay, and let's see what other options there are now. So we have maximum fracture pieces. That's been there for a while. This new decay system, so if a piece breaks off of your building, it is then slowly over time destroyed and removed from your castle. Right now, the abandoned castle decay is 168 hours. I don't know if that's in-game hours or not, but it's a nice feature. It keeps the lag down and things like that. There's also fast travel now, and you'll see why. There are planets in the game, and that has been added, and these are smaller than Space Engineers planets, but they're still decently sized enough to where maybe a fast travel is warranted. I don't like the idea of fast travel in games. Like even in Skyrim, I don't play with fast travel. I turn that off because I want to experience the world. I don't want to cheat myself out of finding and exploring things like that. But we're just gonna go ahead and hop in and hope for the best here as we load into Medieval Engineers. And pretty much spawn on a mountainside. That's pretty nice. Thanks, game. Thanks, 10 out of 10. So, we're going to spawn here. We're going to work our way down. And survival mode is changed a little bit for what you have to do here. And you'll see that there's some plant life, some different plant life. And we're in this nice, slow, gentle valley here. Over in this direction, you'll find kind of our first resources that we're going to be gathering. These small little rocks. And you just press T, and you'll just pick them up, and they go into your inventory. No longer are the days of volume-based inventory. We have just a slot-based inventory. Welcome back to Minecraft, and welcome back to an era that I don't really like anymore. Like I'm really tired of slot-based inventory systems. I wanted something else. You know, the volumetric system was a challenge, and I kind of missed that a little bit. But we'll just gather up some herbs and things like this to start our way as we work down into the valley here to hopefully show off some of the new features. And speaking of new features, besides the plant life, let's check out the map. The map is new, obviously. Up here, this is the globe map, and each zone is shown here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zones to break up the sphere of the planet. And each zone, of course, is different and has its own terrain and things like that. If we go to us, we're up here in quadrant A, actually 1F, F1 of the Kingdom of Farion. And you can click here, and this region has sub-regions, and these are the regions that you're going to be claiming initially in the game. So keep that in mind, that there's subdivisions of the divisions here. So it's a decently sized playing area, and You know, I hope multiplayer works out in the long run. There are still some things and kinks that they need to work out, but it is alpha. So I'm giving them a bit of a benefit of the doubt. But there are some things that I'm not going to yield on, and that's simply either the crafting system or the harvesting system and the inventory management system. I think some of these need reworked, and reworked quickly for me to really enjoy the game and to warrant playing again in any reasonable fashion. So let's head down to the bottom here as we just eat up all of our stamina to do so and craft our first item. So obviously you're going to need an axe. Axes are super important. We need these to cut down our trees and give us our first base resources, namely the crafting table here. So I want to do this quickly before kind of any hostiles show up. Now these trees, you want to look for the larger trees. There are some smaller ones that when you refine it down, it actually doesn't give you the crafting material you need. So let's just start at the edge here. So the reticule will change and update to kind of show that you're looking at a resource. And now that we have this cut down, we'll just top it up a little bit, starting at the root. And you can see we have made a mistake. This is actually kind of a thinner tree. And it's actually refining into something that we don't want. These are just planks almost. Now these are kind of left over from the previous version of the game of how the inventory management worked, and because of that, there's not much I can do with these. Maybe put them in a chest, take them back out again, maybe not. So let's try and find maybe a proper tree here. I think this one's a little bit thicker. We'll give this a try. Yeah, you can see how much thicker this is from the other one. And we'll just swing at it a little bit, and you can see now that is actually popping off logs. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's supposed to be like that or just a remnant of the previous version that they might, you know, remove over time. They've also gotten rid of the annoying head bob that happens when you're using items such as your axe and things like that. That was always kind of a challenge and made it a little bit harder to aim. So let's just pick up these logs. You know, in doing so, of course, I'm going to raise up the issue that I have with the inventory management because of that. And that the logs are just popping into our inventory here. Like, I don't like the idea of these pockets, these invisible pockets and pouches that hold unlimited amounts of weight and things like that. I don't think that's very interesting gameplay anymore. I would much rather be challenged and have to overcome and possibly build carts and wagons and things to move resources around, since we are engineers after all, as I completely just knock over our table. Not that it matters. Now, let's go ahead and start with a pickaxe. We're going to need this to harvest some stone. And our pickaxe is great, so we'll grab that out. Assign that to a hotbar. Now, I could just start mining in the ground, but there's also some exposed rock. This is very reminiscent of Space Engineers here. And you can just hit these away, and that'll break up into stone chunks that you can use yourself. Now, I can refine these stone chunks down, just in my inventory here, to small stone. You know, having these 2D menus is convenient and nice and quick. They're a little convoluted and a little cluttery, and they don't quite work, I don't think, in a very clean fashion. But I understand why games go to this. You know, this crafting table mentality that's kind of been common here recently since Minecraft. And, you know, I can't stress enough how much I'm a little tired of it. You know, I like the idea and concepts of Astroneer. That's an indie game coming out. And how they handle crafting, kind of really in the world itself. Little menus will pop up without having to open up this giant spreadsheet-like object here. But I digress. Alright, now, get into the major items of the update. And that would be, you can create houses. So we can create a house here. So the tag, 3 letters must be inserted. We'll just call it, we'll do lot for Lothlorien, maybe. Okay. So Lothlorien is our kind of house now, and houses are kind of like guilds, things like that. So we are now Lothlorien. And if you press G, it'll open up all your blueprints that you currently have. This is all the technology we know at the beginning. If you look at the crafting table, it'll actually have blueprints down here for all the stone structures that you'll be able to make and things. I think that's just to prevent everyone from starting out with giant stone castles. And if you want to see the 2 first new items, there are a claim stone, which is what you use to claim territory in the game. So we'll put that there. And also a banner workstation, which is how you edit your banner now. Thinking about it, it looks like we need to make a hammer to actually construct these objects. So let's see what a hammer takes to make. Looks like we actually had enough in here already, which is rather convenient for once. If you pop on over here, make sure that's all placed in there. This claim block will pop into existence here. And after a certain amount of percent, you don't have to take it to 100% every time. They become usable, I think, around 80%, but I'm going to just go ahead and take it all the way there. So now it's a contested area between, well, I guess me and no one else. I think that's just what that right side means. In 10 minutes, I guess we claim this block. I don't know how really that works. And you can see our current logo there. You can show settings. You can name the area. So we'll just name this Uthris. There we go. And here, let's go ahead and make some timber. And build this. This is the banner workstation, and we'll go ahead and make a custom banner for you guys. There are some default ones, and I believe you can also mod in your own symbols here later. So let's change our banner. This is currently it. Edit your personal banner, and then edit your house banner. So that's what the plaid and things were. So house banner is like your guild banner, and then your personal one's for you. Kind of interesting. So let's change this. Let's change the background here. You know, let's just do a nice solid color. And the background color, I guess we can, Lothlorien would be a light blue, I suppose, or neutral blue here. And then we can think of a nice symbol in the middle. So how about a white stag? That would be pretty interesting. And we don't really need any other special patterns. So that there is the symbol for Lothlorien, the white stag. And let's go ahead and edit our personal banner. Now this is for Uthris. And Uthris, of course, would need to be something a little bit cooler looking, I think. And of course our channel colors are kind of red and black, so let's do that. We'll do a knight helm, I think, unless there's something cooler on the second page. No, looks like the knight helm is pretty nice. And we'll just make that black as well. And do I want the little stars? Yeah, sure, why not? There we go. So that's our banners for our house and ourselves, and you can see that automatically updated everywhere else. And if we can take a look, looks like I don't have any banners unlocked at this time. Let's take a look at our crafting table here. Personal flag, faction flag. So we just need some wooden sticks. So let's craft a personal flag and see what this does. So this is our personal flag. You can see you have many variations here to go off of. And this, in theory, I assume, would just use our logo. So let's plop that into space. There you go. So that's the Uthris symbol right there on a flag, which is pretty nice for decking out your own castles and things. We can just hold right click on it. At least that's how you normally destroy things in this game, but what if we just attack it? No? Attack it with a sword? There you go, broken banner. Just like that. That'll disappear over time. That'll be part of the decay system in the game. And so really, this is kind of the main thing that was added based into the game. Building is pretty much the same beyond the new blueprints and unlocking it that way. Your inventory management's a little bit weird, but you know, it's sufficing right now. And beyond that, this is all there is to the update. Factions, planets, and territory control. Now, I'm not trying to downplay their achievement. You know, making a planet and making a giant world for, you know, everyone to play on, I'm sure isn't a small task, and I'm happy that they did it. But I do have some criticisms for sure. So mainly, it comes down for me that I can't build what I want in this game anymore. I can't construct very interesting and very intricate detailed structures. I mean, for goodness sakes, Bridgehaven and Lothlorien were interesting looking, but I don't think I could build things like that anymore. A lot of the building techniques I used with how the blocks merge together has been removed. So like using the archway pieces in conjunction with stair pieces. Like, you can't even put a column and a stair piece on the same block anymore. Like, this is so limiting for me that it's rather saddening to see that I can build better kind of fantasy or medieval or anything in a coaster simulation game than I can in a medieval building game. It just, to me, feels not, that's just not how it's supposed to be. It's just odd. It's just odd. And, you know, a lot of the way the building works, going back to crafting tables and things like that, and with no depth beyond just putting the resources in and getting your item out, is rather shallow to me. Same thing with inventory management, like to get logs back from a forest. That should be a process in itself. Like, do I need to build a cart? Do I then need to bring that cart with me and load the logs into it so I can carry back a whole load? I could do that now, yes, but like, if I'm building beside a forest, what's the incentive beyond just pressing T and now it's in my inventory? Not represented on my character at all, you know? And if they were worried about having people not have enough carrying capacity to get started, well then give us like a sled or some type of something that shows how heavy this thing is that we could just pull along with us. You know, something small to start out with. I would say probably, you know, a bit, flip this upside down and you get yourself, you know, a sled with something on it. And just let us pull that along. There's rope mechanics in this game. Use them. You know, there's physics mechanics. They've added doors and things, which is nice. But I want to make my own drawbridge. I want to make my own gate. You know, that's interesting. Just plopping down a gate is not interesting to me. And so, you know, Medieval Engineers, it's something that I'm going to be watching for a long time, and I'm hoping. I am hoping I get the game that, you know, I've been waiting for a very long time. But right now, we're kind of in this limbo. I still don't think they have quite a clear direction on where they want to go. Like, do they want to go in the Minecraft route? Or do they want to go into the Ark Survival Evolved route? Which I think both routes aren't great. There's some good stuff in there. But, you know, I cannot stress enough terra firma craft when it comes to crafting games and adding depth mechanics. They don't even have to be copies of that mod, but like napping, like taking two stones together and making a shape out of it to get like a shovel head or a knife blade. You know, those are real. That's a thing. I don't want progress bars. I don't want time sinks. What I want is skills. I want to feel like I'm doing something over than waiting for something. So I think that's where we're gonna end it on Medieval Engineers for now. I would build something for you guys, but I feel like, one, it would take too long. I'm in survival mode, so that's not gonna happen, I don't think. But it was also just like, I'd rather build something in Planet Coaster, because I would be able to make something better looking than this. So I think that's where we are right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my little rant at the end about some of the mechanics and what I would like to see changed. And if you guys have anything that you want to see changed with Medieval Engineers, let me know down below. I think having a conversation as to what makes a good survival game, what makes depth mechanics and gameplay, you know, important. So I hope you guys kind of agree, or if you don't agree, that's fine. You know, if you just want to hop in a game and have fun, that's reasonable. I can't blame anyone for having that kind of mentality going into a video game. But for me, I just want something more. There's a reason there's a creative mode and a survival mode. You know, the survival mode is supposed to be interesting. Creative mode is supposed to be fun. You know, you're just building something. Anyways, we actually talked long enough to claim the territory. So I do want to see what this does. It looks like we have gained a little shield here, and my faction has owned this square, and also it is owned by me. So I guess our faction kind of expand and things, and you build more faction stones to claim more blocks and things like that. Pay taxes for this area. Wow, it disappears in an hour, so okay, yeah, so you sacrifice items to increase your claim duration for. So that's a multiplayer thing. Single player claiming doesn't really matter. It just won't. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Go ahead and check out my other videos, leave a like, and I'll see you all later.